1420 WEMB Sports Radio, or if you're out of range, you want to have it, take us with you, log us in on your iPhone, your iPad, what have you, laptop, computer, www.jetbroadcasting.live, or you're just sitting at your tower working and all that, 24/7. Of course, Tri-City Sports Now. You miss it, watch it on archive on the most liked Facebook page of any sports talk radio station in the market. That would be 1420 WEMB Sports Radio Tri-Cities. Like it today, and then tell us what your favorite sports moment is. You'll see at the top of the page where to go with that. And guess what? You will then be entered into a contest where tomorrow, 4 free tickets to go to the Dollywood. So today is the last day to it's not the last day to like us, but to enter to win that contest. And so there you have it right there. Was talking a little bit about NASCAR. You heard when Elizabethan was the opponent that defeated the Johnson City Cardinals yesterday. All right. But I wanted to mention NASCAR. You heard this about making only his third start, Justin Haley winning the rain-shortened race. It was delayed, of course. It was supposed to run on Saturday night. That didn't happen. Jerry Bonkowski always tells us about the weather. And by the way, if you are going to watch Jerry Bonkowski today, he's being pushed back. He can't make it today, but he will make it on Friday at 1 p.m., so I'll just tell you what happened. This was a very difficult race to watch because it wouldn't go off. And by the time it did, I'm like, you know what? I'm into Rays Yankees now. I mean, no, this is not what I just watched the USWNT win the Women's World Cup. I'm not sure that I'm all into this here with, NASCAR right now. Anyhow, the idea, though, that it was somehow a bad thing that Haley gets his first career Cup victory. Yes, I do understand he's not a big name. Yes, I do understand that, all right, it's difficult for people to get and see him on the Xfinity Series. I realize he was 500-1. Don't we love underdogs? And frankly, there have been only a handful of drivers who have dominated NASCAR for so long that maybe it is refreshing that Haley, and yes, he needed probably the shortened race to win it. I'm not debating that. But that somebody comes up and does the unexpected at Daytona. Of course, did anybody see it? I mean, we're only 15 minutes away from racing to resume. Wait a minute. We've got to take 2 hours to dry the track off. Here comes the rain again. By that time, I don't really want to wait for the NASCAR race to watch the rest of it, I got to admit. But this idea that saying Haley winning the race was a bad thing is absurd. There's been too much monotony. Need something fresh. Also, need the Chevys to win. There's actually talk now, I've been hearing rumors, that the Camaro may be changed into the electric car. Wait a minute. The Camaro? The new Volt? Of course, I will tell you this. When the Camaro first came out, it was a pony car. It was there to compete with Mustang. There's no question about that. But a lot of people bought them. And I know my grandfather was this way. He bought a 67 Camaro because he wanted a smaller car. Daughters had gone off to college. We didn't need a station wagon anymore. I wanted a smaller car to drive. He bought a Camaro. He thought it was a terrific looking automobile. Tells a story that... And Camaros went at base at less than, I think it was 2,700 in 67, 68, somewhere around there. But tells me a story how he got his first one. I love this story. I'll share it with you. He was in Ohio at the time. That's where he lived. He was an engineer for Alliance Machine Company in Alliance, Ohio. Anyway, wanted a smaller car and went to the Chevy dealer, saw this 1-year-old Camaro convertible. And a car like that basically went, I think, for more than $3,000 when it was new. It was only 1 year old. And for the trade-in of an old station wagon, 1968 was when this deal was, and $1,000, he got a 1-year-old, practically brand new Camaro convertible. $1,000 in trade-in of a station wagon, which has been about a $3,000 car. And I say, Bob, I know that the dollar went further back in those days, but it just seems to me that a 1-year-old Camaro convertible for $1,000 and trade-in of a station wagon, which you didn't want anyway, that seems like a great deal. He says, yeah, it was. But you try selling a convertible in December in Ohio. The great line. But now they're talking, but the thing was, he was getting the Camaro. It was something of an economy car at the time for Chevy. It was a smaller one, and all this. Well, now there's talk that maybe the Camaro becomes an electric car. That's what the rumor mill is these days, Maybe that goes back to the original roots. Okay, that's debatable, certainly. I mean, pony cars, hey, they, were muscle cars or something, but those old 289s in the Mustangs in the 60s, that wasn't a 350, that wasn't even a 327, which so many of the Camaros in 67 came with. So, cubic inch engines. There you go. All this. But yeah, I just don't